Certainly from an efficiency and a management standpoint, it would make sense to have some sort of control panel or dashboard that will allow you to queue up social promotions, social content, and then distribute and then measure the effectiveness. There's a number of social media marketing management tools out there like this, like Wildfire or Sprout Social, Awareness, and those kinds of applications. So in the sense of efficiency, it makes sense. But it doesn't always mean that you should coordinate all your social marketing efforts together with the same messages or whatever, because each platform might have a different audience. For example, I wouldn't necessarily expect the same kind of outcomes from promoting something on LinkedIn as I would on Twitter or YouTube or through a social news and bookmarking service like StumbleUpon or Dig or Reddit, you know. So I'd say that there's opportunity for coordination, but one needs to do some homework in terms of understanding the audience and for each individual channel in terms of what messaging that they would coordinate. I think you have to understand three key things. One is, how do they discover information? So as you understand who your target audience is, I think it's important to understand what devices, what platforms that they use, and what behaviors are associated with how they consume news or information at large, right? So if I need to know what are the good sushi restaurants in Orlando, Florida, I might go to Facebook. But if I need to find a particular replacement adapter for my Mac so I can connect to a monitor, I'm probably going to go to Google and search for that device. You know, so having some understanding with how they discover information is really key for connecting with today's on-the-go consumer. The second thing has to do with consumption, like what formats do they prefer to consume content in, right? Are they very video-centric? Are they short-form content? Do they read long articles? Having some understanding of what type of content format is also very important with connecting with people. If you're irrelevant in those ways, then of course you're not going to connect with them. The third thing has to do with sharing. As you plan content that you hope to reach a particular audience, to reach a particular customer segment, then think about not only how they discover and consume it, but what can you do technically and editorially to inspire them to share that content. Because if you're creating the kind of content that resonates with them and that it meets their needs, but it's also got that awesome to it, they're going to share it. And it'll propagate to an even larger audience, and one that might even be more relevant than the initial people that consumed it in the first place. For PR people to bring SEO into what they do in a way that adds value, they've got to understand where search falls into attracting the audience they're after. If they're trying to do direct-to-consumer influence or communications, then they need to have some understanding of those audiences and do keyword research and optimize. They may not have the resources. They may not have the ability to secure outside consultants or pay for tools to do these kinds of things. So my recommendation would be if the organization already invests in SEO for marketing, for transactional, direct customer acquisition and selling stuff, then there are things that might come out of that engagement that can be shared with the PR folks. Things like keyword glossaries, things like optimization of the content management system, so that PR can actually use that already purchased insight or consulting activity to their benefit. And if they can implement that kind of activity on news content and it does better reach audiences that they're after, either direct to consumer or if they've done some homework on what kinds of things are journalists searching for, analysts, bloggers, and they're able to actually show how their application of SEO best practices has increased unsolicited media placements, has increased traffic to the news section of the website, and maybe it's even increased leads or sales, then they'll have a lot more clout for attracting in more investment or even budget to make SEO an integral part of the PR function.